Hi, Connie Smith here with Homeschool High Five. And today I want to talk to you about the gift of reading. Let me start with this quote by Carl Sagan, and I just thought it was so great and fit so well with what I want to talk about today. One of the greatest gifts that adults can give to their offspring and society is to read to children. And that's what I want to talk about today. This isn't necessarily about learning to read or teaching your child how to read. That is so important, and maybe I have to do a teaching on that at a different time. But I think that would take up the whole 5 minutes. But the thing I want to talk to you today is about reading out loud with your child. Reading and exposing your children to books and to stories is going to help create in them a love for reading, a love for literature, and it goes beyond just literature, fiction, nonfiction, whatever that is. But I believe that it starts even at a young age, and you can create a lifelong reader. You've heard the thing, leaders are readers, or readers are leaders, leaders are readers. But a child who reads is more likely to grow up to be an adult who reads. And exposing yourself, it gives you an opportunity to expose yourself to places that you may have never been to, people you may never be able to meet, different types of cultures or whatever that is. And then, the information, be it scientific or technological or whatever, it's such a great gift in books and reading. And so I want to share with you about read aloud specifically. And if you've been homeschooling, this is a term that you may have heard. But reading with your child, that starts even before school age. You should be reading to your child. One of my biggest things was having books when Olivia was born. I wanted to make sure we had books, that I could read with her, because I love reading. Now, in this season of life, I feel like that I may not read as much as I used to, or as much as I would like to, but such is life. But I've noticed even in the past couple of years, as my children have gotten a little older, I've been able to increase my reading, I guess my reading for pleasure, not just reading that I have to do. And I expect that to continue to increase as they get older and move on out or whatever. But I know having little kids, sometimes it does not allow you for that time to read. But I still love reading. I loved reading when I was a kid. I was all into the Judy Blume and Beverly Cleary books, Harriet the Spy, all of those things. I loved reading. And as an adult, I love to read. And it also sets a good example for your child when they see you read and they see you with books. Of course, again, not as much as I would like to at this point. But read alouds, these are so important. First of all, it builds the vocabulary of your child. You're able to expose them to words that they may not just hear in everyday conversation. And also with read alouds, the great thing is your child may not be at that reading level. So you're reading to maybe a child, a pre-reader, before they're reading and exposing them. But even if you have a third or fourth grader and you're reading them a book that may be on a sixth grade level, they may not have the reading skill and ability at that point to read, but they have the understanding and capability of understanding the story. So it allows them to be able to partake of that, even though they may not be at that reading level quite yet. So it builds their vocabulary, which is huge. As a learner, having a vast vocabulary plays a huge part in your learning. And, there's studies about kids who come to school, at first grade and have been exposed to language at varying degrees, that the one who has been exposed to more language, more words, and so forth, by the time they get to school, it benefits them in their learning. It also improves focus as they sit and listen. It increases their reading comprehension. They learn how to, the tone and the pacing of reading, of dialogue, of pausing, with commas and periods and things like that. But it also develops empathy. They're able to develop empathy for the characters, maybe the characters that are dealing with serious situations. Again, maybe they can understand the situation a sixth grade reading level, but they may be at a third grade or fourth grade reading level, and they would never be able to be exposed to it if you weren't reading to them. But this is important. And then also, the biggest thing, which I love the most, is it builds a bond between you and your child. And let me say this, and this is important, and I know I have to wrap up here. But it does not stop when you have a preschooler or an elementary school child. You should be reading to your children. I read to my 11th grader. She's 16 and looks forward to reading together. Mikey loves snugging up with me as we read. We're right in the middle now of Where the Red Fern Grows, which was one of my favorite books as a child, but we're sharing it. It's a bond that we're building. This quote I read, I thought was so great and hit the point about older children and the importance of reading to them. High school is the last stop for gas before the beltway of adulthood. So I have about a year and a half with Olivia in the household with me, and I want to maximize that out. So reading together, again, it's a bonding and bonding building experience, but also just the exposure to stories and literature and things like that. And let me say this. I have fond memories of us reading. We read a lot of the Roald Dahl books when they were younger, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach. Those are such rich memories that we all still hold. Sometimes I'll take a book on a road trip and Mike's driving and I'll read to the children. Audiobooks, we do that. The Incredible Journey was one. We would just go about our day off to piano lessons or the grocery store and just listen. These are rich memories that I have with my children, and I just wanted to take a moment today to share with you the importance of these read alouds. So if you're looking for information about read alouds, again, I Google everything. Google or search engine it. You will find different information, different if you want things that support read alouds, or even just what I'm even talking about and delve further into it. It's out there for you. I wanted to share this with you today because I believe in you. I know you can do this. I know you're doing a great job. And I just want to expose you to some things that I never thought about before I had kids or before they grew up. I never thought that I would be reading to my 11th grader. Sometimes she reads, sometimes I read. It's good for them to read out loud. So we take turns reading, maybe, a page here and switch. But it's just so important. So again, I believe in you. I know you can do this. High five.